Right.
Okie dokie. I told Jacob that's gonna be my whole personality now. It's from the Fallout show.
Oh,
Okie
yeah.
dokie.
Okie dokie.
Have you seen it?
Watch
Oh yeah, you did watch it. Did you finish it?
No,
Oh.
not yet. But I want to. We're trying. It's so
I
good,
finished
though.
it. It's so good. You haven't watched it yet? You need to get on it.
Watch anything.
You need to get on it. You would love it.
I'm so miserable, guys. I can enjoy no media.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It just like makes me dizzy.
Oh yeah.
Once penicillin does its thing, I'll be back to the world.
Is it making you like? Is it giving you like a vertigo?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I get really, really dizzy, and I feel like very off balance.
Yeah, I get that.
It's going great over here, guys.
Hey.
Hi, cuties. Welcome back to Bookish Bites. How are you guys doing?
We're all sick
I'm not.
all the time.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Miss Immune System
Yeah.
of like.
No, she's gonna bite her
Yeah.
in the butt. Watch. She keeps talking this big game about her immune system's so good.
Isn't your son sick right now?
Yeah.
Isn't my boy literally
He's
sick?
sick like all the time.
My poor boy.
The last time I was like super, super sick was in high school. I got mono. That was like the last time I was like really.
Damn. You
Sick.
just be kissing?
I'd just be kissing the one man.
Damn. That's
I know I
tough.
walked into her room earlier and I said, "Hey, Silas has a fever," and she was like, "Really?"
All right.
So,
Guys, we're talking about. Okay. I'm gonna run that back. So, guys, we're talking about Iron Flame, part the.
Haley, that's 4.
Oh my god. So, part 1 finishes off with them rallying the troops to go to Erasia, being like, hey, losers, get in. We're going to save the world, basically.
The revolution.
the revolution.
Viva la revolution,
Yeah.
as I always say.
Anna called it.
I just be saying stuff
You
sometimes.
just be saying stuff.
I do.
I do.
I'm pulling up my notes on my Kindle app because the Kindle just be a little bit slow.
I had some pretty good notes for this.
Yeah, you did.
We didn't have any specific food in
Oh,
this
yeah.
section.
Correct.
I know they had a feast at
The
Cat's
Vis-
uncle's.
the Viscount.
Viscount?
Yeah.
Viscount or whatever.
That's her uncle.
The Viscount.
I don't know what it's pronounced.
It's spelled
Viscount.
But is there no S?
No, there isn't.
It
It's
is a silent
V-I-S-C-O-U-N-T.
Viscount.
I
Viscount.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love you. Was it her uncle?
Yeah, Cat's
Yeah.
uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure it was.
Yeah, Cat and Serena's uncle.
Why would they
So,
put the S there then?
We went with, I made
Not
some
an American
cupcakes
word.
and brownies. So,
Just for fun.
That's nice.
and they're kind of delicious, if I do say so myself. And it's not just because I made them.
Nope, I had a cupcake last night. Very yummy.
It's so good.
Let's talk about Andarna
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the
yeah,
stress
yeah.
she's giving me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to wake the poor baby up
Mm-hmm.
to bring her down to Erasia with them. And they're like, she do be sleeping. She do be snoozing.
Yeah.
And then she gets up. She can't fly. They say she's never going to be able to bear a rider. And she just is so sweet.
And all she wants to do is help.
I also just love her attitude. It's
Yeah.
easily one of my favorite things in
Yeah.
this book is the like adolescent teenage Andarna absolutely giving Taryn a run for his money. I think it's so funny. I'm trying to think. They get there, they meet with the assembly, and the assembly's like, whoa, you brought 1 billion people. They were like, yep, they live here now. Suri, the member of the assembly with the silver streaked hair. No, not Siri, you dumb bitch. No.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh.
My bad.
Really offended her, Hannah.
Yeah. She says, the member of the assembly with the silver streaked hair who blatantly hates me. I have questions. I need to know, does she have silver streaked hair just because, like, maybe she's old? And so
Right.
she has gray in her hair? Or, like, is this silver in the way that Violet is silver? And we have many questions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Easily one of my other favorite parts of this book is the rest of the Sorrengail family finding out that Brennan's alive.
Oh, I love his interaction with Mira.
Bro,
Yeah.
Mira just
She just
absolutely
straight up
Yeah.
clocks that guy.
clocks him.
I laughed so hard.
She said she draws back her fist and punches him straight in the face. I said, and should.
Yeah.
I said, what a Mira thing to do. Like,
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Why not?
why not?
I feel like Mira
Sure.
would be so intimidating.
Ugh.
Like, she'd be like that teddy bear of an older sibling, like, once you got to know them.
Yeah.
But, like,
I feel like Mira is giving a more well-rounded and emotionally mature Nesta.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
love Mira.
Where, you know, you could trust her and go to her for anything, but also she can be hard as a stone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know she's hot.
Oh,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know she's hot.
Oh, for
You know she's
sure.
hot. She reminds me of
I know exactly what you're about to say.
from The Last of Us.
Oh.
Oh, I was gonna say
No.
The Last of Us. I forget her name. The girl, the butch, Emily. Is that her name?
Oh, in
No,
Last of Us Part 2?
Abby.
Abby
Abby. Yep.
reminds me of Abby, like the way that she's built. I imagine Mira like that.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no,
Not
I do
built
not.
like Abby?
No, I don't see her butch. No.
What?
No,
You don't
I
see
see
her
her
butch?
more like Shailene Woodley in Divergent.
For some
That's
reason,
how I see her.
Okay.
For
I don't
some
know, I
reason, I
imagined
see
her
her
kinda
as
butch.
oh shit. What's her name? Ashton Kutcher's wife.
Oh, Mila
Mila
Kunis.
Kunis?
Yeah.
I don't know why,
Oh.
but like Mila Kunis with the short hair
Huh.
gives Mira to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean?
I was just thinking like young, like Shailene Woodley.
Yeah.
And like the hairstyle,
Yeah.
like the cut,
Yeah.
buzz cut, just because she gives like that tough girl, but also like
Yeah, I imagined her
Like,
with like
pretty
short
not
hair.
butch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see her like built, if that makes sense.
Maybe I saw her built because of her
I see her
personality.
like agile.
Yeah. Yeah, agile. That's the word I do. Yeah.
What is this? Oh, whenever they're trying to get the luminary, and so she's like, okay, let's go see the Viscount, and Xanon's like, no. She's
Yeah.
like, yes, and he's like, no, and so she just goes anyway, and
Really, how dumb.
He said, Violet, you're not where I left you.
bro, no, literally before that line when she says, if he glanced up at the griffin above him and the trio parts, revealing the figure waiting directly behind them, a figure dressed entirely in black. I was like, who's this? Then it says his jaw flexes, his hands curl at his sides, and his beautiful face. I said, oh no. Oh no.
We're in trouble.
Not his beautiful face. He said, well, he hasn't looked at me with that much anger since discovering my last name at Parapet, back when he wanted to kill me. Guess I should be careful what I ask for because I'm so effed. You aren't where I left you, Violence. I said, oh. We're going to get into so much trouble.
Yeah.
But also, like, scary. Why are you here?
Yeah. How'd you get here?
Why are you here?
Also, I was a little mad at Xaden for not sharing this information. Like, sure, maybe it wasn't important in the moment, and, like, he probably would have eventually shared it with her. And maybe if she asked questions, you know, like, he's begging her to, then
Stop.
he would share.
Violet.
But
Okay, Violet.
also, I thought you were recording me. I thought that was a phone with your mic.
Okay,
But also, I literally lost my train of thought. Oh, I was kind of mad that he wasn't going to say anything about Kat or about any of that, which maybe would have come about.
Yeah,
but-
like, don't get me wrong. I think that Violet is, like, the biggest whiny spirit in the whole entire world. Like,
yes,
no one is a
correct.
bigger, whinier baby than Violet
yeah,
Sorrengail.
correct.
But whenever he starts getting like, just ask me questions, just ask me questions,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, how am I supposed to know what questions to ask, dog? I don't
Right.
know what secrets you keep.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, just start
saying
start
stuff.
saying things.
Tell me
Or
your
like,
deepest,
I don't
darkest
know,
secrets.
maybe when we're talking about going and seeing the Viscount and you think that's a bad idea, you could mention that, like, I don't know, you were supposed to marry his niece and you like have a room there and you've like been there a lot and you know
Yeah.
them really well.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, just like offer up information.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, oh, you don't want me to go see the Viscount? No. Oh, well, did you happen to be engaged to his niece? Did you happen to stay there frequently? Did you happen to have a room there? How is she to ask
Right,
these
right.
questions?
Exactly.
What if we offered up information? I know they get there eventually,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
he's like, well, you didn't ask. It's giving Stephanie Tanner, Full House, episode 1. Joey and Jesse go to change Michelle's diaper, and they're like, where do we do? What do we do? And they're like, oh, super absorbent, and they wrap that poor baby in paper towels. And then afterwards, Stephanie goes, next time, try these. And pulls up diapers, and they're like, Steph, if you knew where the diapers were, why didn't you give them to us? She's like, nobody asked me. And then she walks away. And that's what Zayden is giving. Is giving, nobody asked me.
He's giving
Oh,
like
man.
new formed relationship. Doesn't know how to navigate anything.
Yeah. First ever like healthy
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
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 Because Violet does the same stuff.
Oh my god.
They just each have their own frustrations, and they're each growing in this relationship. But oh my god, is it tough to sit and watch?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Agonizing, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
They each take their share with their annoying
Mm-hmm.
bits.
Whenever she sees Takaris and he says like, oh, like, let's not be hasty, like we'll talk after dinner. Like we'll go have a nice dinner first, and like don't worry if you didn't bring clothes, like I have a selection. My niece will see you that you're properly attired, won't you, Kat? And as soon as he said won't you, Kat, I highlighted just Kat and I said die.
Die.
Die. I was like, you're
about-
kidding.
Fall over dead.
How about die?
Let me do it, actually.
Actually, I'll go ahead. And when she said, suddenly I understand exactly why Zayden's been here too many times to keep count. God.
Ugh.
When she said, do you know who you sound like right now? And he said, please enlighten me. And she said, Dane, and shut the door in his face.
Ooh, I remember.
That's like
Brutal.
The ultimate.
It's right here. I said, "Ooh, girl, that was cold."
Literally brutal.
Dane. Wow.
The ultimate insult.
Got him. Got
You
him.
do not want to be compared to Dane. Absolutely not.
And that's like one thing in this book that I feel
That
like
was
Zayden was
nasty.
like worse about.
I hated her.
What did she say?
I don't know what she's looking at. She's
Oh no, you sent me those.
All about Kat.
yeah,
Dude,
girl. I was so pissed.
she sucks.
She
Yeah.
sucks, and she's so nasty.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Like she hits it hard
So
for no
bitter.
reason. So bitter.
Yeah.
So clearly jealous.
She said, I just would have chosen something more colorful. Zayden always laments how monotone everything is at Basquiat. She said, Zayden doesn't lament anything.
"Uh huh."
And bye.
I literally said,
When she keeps going at Mira, Mira says, fuck it, we don't need a luminary. We don't need it.
"Yeah."
It's fine. Serena said, stop being a wretch, Kat. And she wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I loved like Kat like made that little comment about her dress, and then the moment she walked into that dining room and Zayden saw her, and immediately was like,
He was
"Oh,
like, you're not
you
playing
look-"
fair, Violet.
Yeah, he's like, you look so good,
Mhm.
and I was like, you should have known. You look good.
And I knew something was up when she was acting like so self-deprecating and
Right.
so jealous.
Because
Yeah.
that's
She was
not
like, I don't
her.
know why Zayden's even looking at me when clearly he should be looking at Kat and Red behind me. I was like, what? Like you're, like this is a lot. This
Yeah.
is a lot
Yeah.
even for you, babes.
Yeah.
And then once they found out like what Kat's little power is or
Her
whatever, I was
signet,
like,
yeah.
okay, okay.
That makes
Also,
so much
like,
sense.
Rebecca Yaros really. You had to pick that signet
Yeah.
for her.
And like,
Really?
I can't remember what her goal was. Like, was Kat really just trying to get her to kill her? Because like, what's the goal of that? Just to like eat at her and to make her so upset? But also, Violet literally almost killed her and only stopped because Aiden was like, "Hey,
Truly.
dog, like, kill her if you want. I couldn't care less. But
But like you'll be
this
upset
we
Yeah.
might not get the luminary if you kill her.
if you kill her. Like it might,
So
Might make more enemies.
might
in the
cause an
might-
issue
yeah.
or dose. God. Oh yeah, because he says she has the gift of heightening the emotions of the people around her, and she's exceptionally powerful. If you hadn't blocked me out all evening, I would have told you sooner. Well, don't suck.
Don't suck.
I wanted to block you out. I was having fun with her awful emotions inside of me. I was doing great. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
I actually didn't even need you to tell me. God. Why did Takaris have a venom?
That's a good question. I genuinely don't remember. Probably because he could.
He just like had some. He just said, "Oh, put it in
He had one
chest."
saved. And the way that he wanted Violet to open it.
He was like, "Go ahead, go
Uh-huh.
ahead."
Wait, I can't remember. Did he know that there was a venom in it?
Yeah.
It was on purpose, wasn't it? It was like a test.
Right.
When he said, "Oh no, we'll do it down on the field. It's a performance after all, isn't it? Would be a shame to waste the gaming arena since it took me years to construct." I said, "Okay, Hunger Games." Okay, gaming arena?
Also, who is this guy?
Dude,
Yeah.
Like, how is he relevant? Nobody's obviously heard of him.
Uh-huh.
I read in one of the like passages at the top of the chapter that there was a queen who had no heir because she hadn't married, and so she just picked him. He was like her cousin or something, and so she picked him to become like whatever position he is. And like people didn't really care for that either because he also didn't have a direct heir because he doesn't
Right.
have children. But
So he literally doesn't know how to be a royal either.
yeah, no, he's not doing great.
You don't know what he's doing.
Now he's got his nieces, right?
Yeah, Serena and
Cat.
Kat. Who's Sloane?
Sloane is Liam's sister.
Jesus H. Y'all, I'm so out of it. I was reading this book like all day, off and on. And at some point, I completely forgot who Sloane was. And I was reading like chapters and chapters where they're mentioning Sloane. And I'm like, at some point, I'm going to remember who this is. And it just wasn't coming to me.
That's funny.
I literally like, I even went back and like skimmed part 1 again to like remind myself like what led up to it. So I read like all about like her fight and like
Right.
I know who Sloane is.
Yeah.
My brain just absolutely left the building.
Oh, do you remember when I had mentioned in the last episode that there was something that they went on, and there was like the stone rolling down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boulder.
That's the
a
boulder.
nice
That's
boulder.
a nice boulder.
Yeah. We did this last time.
Yeah.
That was, I believe it was just, I don't know if it was the beginning of part 2, but I'm pretty sure it was like when they first left Basquiat. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It definitely wasn't when they first left Basquiat.
Was
Was it
after?
whenever? Was it after this with Takaris? Whenever they get the like cadets from the other school,
Oh yeah.
and then they're
probably.
doing that training
Yes.
up the Tirish
Yes.
They're going up the
mountains.
mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
I
what I'm
remember
saying.
that.
And then they threw the rock down and it started to like hit people.
Yeah.
Am I not?
No, you're right.
Was it the Wyverns that did that? Or where was it the other cadets? They would have been the other because they were trying to like go together as a team. So was it
Yeah,
the
no.
Wyverns?
It was the Wyverns. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was one of those like.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, Mira's dragons up there or whatever, and then
Oh, yeah.
Zayden went to go check it out or whatever, and
Mhm.
I have to get a refresher on that. But yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I was glad to know that I was not crazy
Yeah,
that
no,
the
you
action
weren't.
happened, but it was just in part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I just hadn't read it yet.
Yeah.
So after she kills the Venom,
Mm-hmm.
Zayden pretty much just is like gonna kill the Viscount. Pretty much is just gonna
much.
kill him.
As he should.
I'm trying to remember if he said why he had the Venom.
Yeah, it doesn't say in these like notes here.
I don't remember. But then they agree.
This says Violet has to prove her power, so I think exactly what you said, just to kind of like. Well, but you're saying why he even had it in the
Like,
first
yeah,
place?
like why?
Oh,
Because she was just
but-
supposed to show off her lightning, and then she technically didn't even like really get to do it.
Right.
Because then once the chest opened and the venom came out, like she was throwing daggers.
No, but wasn't it the whole, like, they were trying to get Xaden? It was like a whole, like, you can't help her, but if you try to help her. Was that
Well, because she was down there with Mira. Like, Mira was with her.
right?
And,
She does kill the venom with her lightning, though.
yeah.
Well,
Like-
I mean, like, in their defense, I'm sure they're like, well, if it's a venom, then I wouldn't care if they're dead.
But she
it
was
would
just
be-
supposed to, like, strike and, like, show him.
Yeah.
But he's crazy. But I'm just curious, like, how did you go about catching a venom?
Mhm.
And why did you think that that would just be so good
And
and
just
fun?
keep it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then that's when they make the deal that he'll give them the luminary,
Mhm.
and they're gonna partner up with
Mhm.
the cadets from the other school.
Mhm.
Was Xaden not allowed to help her
Flyers.
though during that?
No, because
Altercation?
Xaden was up like
Brennan helped
with
her.
them. Yeah, Brennan and Mira were down there
That's
with
right.
her.
Mhm.
And like Xaden was talking to her like through the bond, and she was like, "Stop! Let me just handle it. Leave me alone."
Right.
And they did it
Of course they did.
because
Mhm.
they're pretty badass. And then Erasure had a hatchling.
Mhm.
Super cool until it wasn't super cool anymore.
Yeah. And then they do the little climb,
Yeah.
which was not fun.
No. And Kat's like, "You dropped her," and she's like, "I
Mhm.
didn't even have her.
Yeah.
I never had her."
You killed her.
And then Dane says, "Take one step toward Violet and I'll throw you off this effing cliff myself. Unlike Ryerson, I don't give a shit who your uncle is."
Oh my
And Sloane
God.
said, "I'll do it just for fun." That was pretty good for me.
Oh my gosh, somebody said it was so funny. I think this is probably Riddick. I like Marin too, but her best friend needs to get tossed off this cliff. I said, wow, I'm glad someone said it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was funny. Because Mirren was cool. Like,
Mhm.
Marin and, man, what's our main character's name? Violet.
Violet.
Marin
Oh,
and
yeah,
Violet,
her
like,
name-
they were
Her name's
fine.
Violet, actually.
Have you heard of her? Her name's Violet
Yeah, yeah.
Sorrentale. Yeah.
Mhm.
They talk about her a couple times.
Oh, question. Her hair.
Yes.
I know we were discussing that in the beginning about the other girl. But does Violet have? Doesn't she have like dipped silver hair?
Yeah,
It's
so
not,
it's
like,
like
streaked
it's
through
like
her hair.
half and half, I
Right.
believe, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference. Is the girl in the beginning has streaked grays, right?
Oh.
Or streaked
Right.
silvers.
Yeah, she just like has silver.
I think that
in her
means
hair.
like she's growing silver, as in like age.
Mhm.
Maybe.
I'm hoping.
Mhm.
I just the fact that they're referring to it as silver and not gray.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like as
true.
an author, like with the silver hair being such a big
Yeah.
thing, you would think maybe
Yeah.
you would say like gray,
Possibly.
but she's not. And it could still just mean gray,
Mhm.
but I will
That's
I will
interesting.
hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put a pin in
They
it.
do
Does it
like to
say
put
whatever-
little nuggets in like
Did it
that.
say whatever color was with it, or did it just say silver?
Dark hair. Yeah, just it is
Oh.
dark. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Just really a bit curious. One thing that I like about this one is like in all of the little excerpts at the beginning, I know some of them like would be like, oh, Warwick's journal as transcribed by Dane Ados and Violet Sorrentale. And it just makes me think that like this is from so many years in the future and they actually get control of the land and it's being run like in a proper democracy and everybody's getting the protection they need and we can supply all the books and not just some of the books and we have
Right.
the new transcribed versions of these old books that nobody had been able to read and everything is good and happy and no problems because you can just read the book if you want.
Yeah.
And then it also makes me think like Brennan's journal, obviously, like, we're getting pieces of Brennan's journal because it's Violet. But, like, I don't know, maybe Brennan's journal goes in the library because he's so cool and badass. And so, like, people want to read Brennan's journal. Like,
Uh-huh. That is really, that's like something I didn't really think about. It's like, it
like
gives
maybe you can
gives
get it in a
hope.
library now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gives you hope that like they did it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, things get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
like
especially
it.
with just how often Jasenia is referenced
Yeah.
and the transcribing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
This is getting too close. Where is it?
We were talking about they were climbing the cliff, and then the wyverns show up,
Mm-hmm.
and then Violet kills them dead by electrocuting them.
Yeah, she just do a little pew pew.
A little pew pew.
Um,
Oh, and then they learn the whole runes.
right, the Tirish
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
information.
gosh, I
then-
forget how much stuff's in part 2.
I know.
Part 1 felt so dry compared to part 2.
Yeah.
And part 2 isn't even as long as part 1.
Yeah.
And then we finally kind of start to get a little bit of redemption from Dane.
Oh,
Him
I
and
love him.
Violet
Yeah.
helping them, helping
love
her
him.
translate. I love him.
I'm glad that he's growing.
love him.
Yeah, I'm so glad he's
It's
growing.
nice.
Okay, who is Dane's girlfriend?
I don't remember him having, like, associating really with anybody. Does he associate with anybody?
No, I'm just deciding who I want.
What?
What if he dates Kat? Get her out of the picture.
No,
feel like-
because I'm like in Dane's redemption arc. Who would I want him with? I feel like he could be with like Sloane.
Oh yeah,
That's a good idea.
not
I think
bad.
that's a good
Sloane
pair.
could be cute.
Sloane would be cute.
Um,
Sloane would be cute.
I kept thinking Rihanna, but Rihanna isn't.
yeah, Rhiannon.
She's not going that way.
do
No.
lesbianisms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Re just
we
be
do,
doing
like,
ladies.
Them ladies.
Yeah, respect.
I thought about for a minute. I was like Mira, but then I was like, nah, she'd eat him alive.
Dude, it'd be an interesting book though.
It'd be an interesting book.
Rebecca takes a turn and
Oh.
just gives us like a romance novel of
Oh
like
my gosh.
Mira and Dane trying
Yeah.
to like.
Make it work.
Honestly, I'd eat it up.
Yeah. I think Sloane's cute though because like
Walk him like a dog, bitch. Walk him like a dog.
Yeah.
That'd be Mira to Dane.
Yeah.
I like it.
Especially the good boy with with the rebellious girl. Yeah, I need that.
Uh-huh.
I need to see it.
Oh
It
yeah.
would be really cute, actually.
Yeah.
His dad would be so mad.
Oh yeah. And you know
Oh.
Dane would love that.
Dude. Colonel
Yeah.
Ados?
Uh-huh.
He's like, you're dating a who?
Oh. Dude, I would actually love that. Oh. Oh.
You just turned into a man.
Guys, it hurts when I laugh.
Well, hang on. I'm sorry to tell you, we're kind of funny.
It
So.
hurts so bad.
I was just thinking of the meme when I said it.
Oh.
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 Haley puts the cat on the TikTok again.
That was so good.
Thanks.
Guys, in case you were curious, I have a sinus infection. I can't hear out of my right ear. And it just keeps pulsating in
cackles?
my head whenever I laugh. Oh my god.
That's very unfortunate.
Ain't it just to be funny and punished for it?
Yeah.
Does anything else happen that's interesting and we need to speak about before Kat and Violet absolutely attack one another?
Right. I don't think so. I think that's our next.
Great. I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah. I have a lot to say.
Wait, did you like check the notes? Because I haven't checked to make sure we're touching everything.
Yeah. That's literally the next thing. Oh, because the Riders and Flyers hate each other, the professors give them the opportunity to spar with each other, and then obviously Kat challenges Violet, uses the entire fight to make Violet jealous about her and Xaden. This says it's the worst scene because Kat uses her power, which is not allowed on the mat. Violet almost kills her, and they have to be separated. That scene.
Dude, that was insane.
I want to throw my Kindle.
Kat was absolutely going nuts.
I've never been so heated. It was so funny because Jordan was reading this. He was a little bit ahead of me when he was reading it. So he had already read that part, and he texted me. He was like, Haley, there's a part coming up that I was actually so heated at work. It's funny because that day, he was a little pissy whenever I got home, and I didn't know why. But he didn't tell me. He was like, yeah, I just had a bad day. And then I got to that part in the book, and I was texting him, and I was like, I'm so mad. I was like, I've never been so infuriated. I've never wanted to, like, punch something so bad. I was so heated and hot. And he texted me. He was like, "You remember that day I came home really pissy? It's because I had just read that scene and I was mad."
That's
and I was like,
so
"That's
funny.
so funny." But yeah,
And
that's
so true, bestie.
so true.
When Violet said, "I see red," I said, "Me too."
The way that she just gets under her skin.
Yeah.
Like she does it because she's the jealous one. And it's frustrating because she has the power to make it turn onto Violet. And it's...
I said, jealousy is a disease, bitch. Get well soon.
I'm not gonna say what I said because
Because you just were a little bit angry.
I was just a little bit angry.
You just maybe said some mean things.
I did. When she said, "I see red," I said, "Yeah, slit her throat." I said, "Yeah, witch, slit her throat."
Oh, yeah.
When she started going off about, I'm going to war, she said, because she was like, "I'm not doing this for love. You think I'm stupid? I'm fighting with you over love. I'm going to war with you for a crown. That was the reason we were engaged. It was promised to me." I said, pause. "A crown? Engaged?" And then the next chapter is Violet, or the next paragraph is Violet going, "A crown? Engaged?" And I was like, we're on the same page, bestie. I also had question marks.
Yeah, I was like honestly a little relieved because I was afraid that Kat was still like in love with Xaden.
Yeah.
And that's so much
And
messier.
that's so much messier.
And you're like, oh, you
She's
just want power.
She's just
Yeah.
chasing a title.
So when I read that, I was like, okay, I actually feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But also, hey, quit it. Like, go find your own crown. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, leave him alone.
Also, the fact that you telling me all of this, you think I'm just gonna, like, stop being with him?
Yeah.
Like,
Love
Huh?
is so much more powerful than
right.
authority in a crown and
As if they're not in a serious relationship where they talk
Yeah.
about things.
Uh-huh.
When Violet said, "And I love him more than I hate her."
Oh, yeah.
That part.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, another part I really liked. I think this is a lot about me. Whenever Violet says, "Savoring the dull sound of the crack of her ribs," I said, "Yes." Wait, I want to read that whole line because I know there was more to it.
Go off.
"I see red, and throw every ounce of my rage into the punch I deliver to the side of her ribs, right where Xaden taught me to stab, and then I draw back and do it again, savoring the dull sound of the crack of her ribs." Yeah. I just remember being like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Cracking
Just like
ribs.
Xaden showed me.
Just like Xaden showed
When
me.
she said, Rhiannon trained me too, I said, and she did.
Yeah.
And she
And
did.
she did. When she said, "It's not my fault that he doesn't love you," I said, "And that's on period."
It's not my fault.
It's not my fault.
So sorry,
Sounds like a
bestie.
you problem, girl.
Yeah.
God.
How dare she come after what's mine? He isn't a crown. He isn't a stepping stool for power. He isn't a tool to elevate her standing. He's everything.
So on the next chapter, the excerpt at the top says, "As a result of the Treaty of Erasia, the power to represent the province of Tyrrendor in the King's Cenarium has hereby been transferred from the House of Ryerson to the House of Llewellyn." What?
I need you to read that again.
Yeah, I didn't understand a single word.
One more
that you
time with
just
feeling?
said.
One more
Got
time.
it.
Yeah.
As a result of the Treaty of Erasia, the power to represent the province of Tyrrendor in the King's Cenarium has hereby been transferred from the House of Ryerson to the House of Llewellyn. That just doesn't stand
thought-
up with everything
No,
else we're told the
because-
rest of the book.
Xaden literally said he's the heir.
He's like,
so
technically,
he's technically the king
I'm
of
a king.
Tyrrendor.
No,
But that
literally no
said-
big deal, but technically I'm a king. This literally says,
That says otherwise. Who is it by? Public
do you say?
notice, transcribed
Or
by.
how do you spell Llewellyn?
it's right there.
Who is Llewellyn? The power to represent
Yeah.
the province of Tyrrendor in the King's Cenarium has hereby been transferred from the House of Ryerson to the House of Llewellyn. Who is Llewellyn?
I wish I had a single solitary clue.
Have they not talked about a Llewellyn at all?
Hang on,
looking
let's
it
see.
up.
I can.
In the
Because obviously those are in the future. So
what?
does-
Oh, wait.
Oh, the way they talk about it in the next chapter, it
Yes,
looks like.
yes. I'm the Duke of Erasia by
I mean,
birth.
yes, technically I'm the Duke of Erasia by birth, but Llewellyn's on our side and doing just fine at governing the province.
Oh, because the Ryersons fell.
Even if Tyrrendor became independent, I'm more useful on the battlefield than on a throne. We're off topic. I know damn well you don't feel inferior to me, so who, Cat?
But because his dad fell, right? I'm assuming that it just transferred over, and so they're the ones that are running it. Llewellyn's.
Yeah. So he said, technically I'm the Duke by birth, but Llewellyn's on our side and doing just fine at governing the province.
Yeah.
So that's why he, like...
So he's like, let them do it. I don't want
Yeah.
to play king. Just such a good chapter.
Yeah.
After Kat and
That-
Kat and Vi have their little bit of a fight.
That's a really good chapter.
Oh, yeah.
So listen,
That's
I know
really
like
good.
the iconic line is in this chapter, but the one that I liked before, when she's like, in here we can't, and he says, we can. My house, remember? These are all my rooms. I said, and they are. They are all yours.
Toes permanently curled.
I love that phrase.
Dude,
Toes
We need it
curled.
on a shirt, Hannah.
Yeah.
but
We will come
my,
next week.
my toes are literally
My toes are permanently curled.
Permanently.
Have y'all seen that TikTok where it's like, it's the sound that's like, the don't.
What?
she's giving us so much information. How can we not know?
It's the sound.
What
It's
is
like,
the context?
So it's like the whole thing is like me reading any SJM book, and it's like her hands are in socks, and she's going like her toes are curling, but it's that sound where it's,
I don't know the sound, but I know what you're talking about.
The context was needed.
yeah, I'll send it to you guys later.
Yeah,
But
drop a
anyways,
link.
It's about the toes curling, and it was so funny. But yeah, that whole scene.
But yeah, mainly it's
Wow.
just Zayden's house, his chill.
His
Literally.
woman.
It's
My
just,
house.
It's just Zayden's.
It's just Satan's.
It just is all
But
his.
the way the part where it's like he punctuates each claim with a flick of his thumb, popping button by button. So I read that. So I reread it.
Just to
And
imagine.
Just to imagine
My house.
my chair, and I was like,
Were your toes mainly a little bit curled?
my toes were broken. They curl off.
They're not girl anymore.
The reason you broke your toe isn't from stubbing it on the coffee table. You actually just curled them too much.
Curled them till they broke.
Yeah.
Dude, that whole thing.
This scene specifically.
Yeah.
Sorry, bestie.
Yeah.
Wait, what was I reading when I broke it? Wretched, wasn't it?
Oh,
The
Yeah,
one
it was
that you said.
wretched.
Yeah.
It was wretched.
that's funny.
The comment I made to my house, my chair, my woman, I said I can't breathe, and I literally couldn't. Like, I couldn't breathe.
No.
I was hooked on that scene.
Yeah.
Hooked. I took my time.
Not her,
Yeah.
not her in the throne.
Not her in the throne.
I might need a reread.
Oh, the way. She's like,
So let me fact check that scene.
and the way,
I need a little refresher.
what was like, so like moving about the scene is the way that he like backed away, and was like done, and then she was like, "Do you want to like, can I like repay you now?" Basically, and he said, "Because I need you to see I'm more than capable of worshiping your body without reciprocation. You're not a convenient placeholder for me to have sex with." So that part, I was like, he's literally perfect. Why would you ever be mad at him?
Sometimes people have secrets.
Sometimes they have secrets, but obviously you're his queen. You're sitting upon his throne. You're a throne.
Let's just... The amount of times whenever she'd be like, your bedroom's warded, and he'd be like, our bedroom's warded. And she's like, well, your bedroom, and he's like, our bedroom.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yes, sir. Yes, I hear it. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Got it. I didn't mean it. God. When she saw Kat, and she said, oh, hey, Kat. And Kat's like, what? And she said, that trick you mentioned, with the fingers? Thanks.
Oh yeah.
I was giggling.
I said the gall and the gumption.
The goal and the gumption.
Incredible.
I loved that.
Oh.
Okay, chapter 48. I'm bookmarking it.
I'll reread that later.
So I just really need to fact check that whole chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually need to annotate it.
Yeah.
This whole book, it's the only chapter annotated.
No, but I would.
There's just tons of little tabs in this one section.
I have people come over. Oh, what's so significant about? Oh, yeah. I just turn the book over.
You're like, no worries, no worries.
Just research. Actually.
I just was doing a paper on it.
Oh, and the way that Violet said, did you know that Tyrande hasn't had a crown in more than 600 years? Turns out they melted them all down to forge the unification crown, so good luck with that. I said, slay, Vi. Slay.
And what are you going to do now?
And what are you going to do?
And what are you going to do?
No crown for you. Bye, cat.
My cat. Come back never.
Come back never.
Dude, can you imagine if she found out who, Auric was?
Oh.
And she was like, oh, a new crown.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Your daddy's a king?
He's who?
He's...
Hello.
It doesn't matter that we're mortal enemies, but, you know.
Right.
She just wants a crown. Guys, why am I drinking coffee at
She just
9:50
needs
p.m.?
to kill her uncle and take the crown. If she's really that
You're
into
so
it.
smart.
Because
She really just wants it.
like Serena's technically next in line because she's older. But if Serena didn't want it,
Mm-hmm. True.
That, or if you want power that bad, you'll do whatever you need to do to get it.
kill your sister.
Right.
Yeah.
Kill your... Literally.
It's
Do you
not
mean
the
it?
first time I've
You
seen
mean
it.
it? Kill your sister. You want it that bad? Kill your sister. That's so funny. Violet and Dane like slowly being like little friends again.
I know.
He said, "You asked to see me of your own volition? No orders or anything?" She said, "I need your help." He said, "All right." She said, and just like that, I remember why he used to be one of my favorite people on the continent. Oh, Day. Me
This is
too.
sweet.
I just loved him being friends again.
Yeah. Oh, and they go to the... Dane and Violet supposedly figure out how to raise the wards.
Right.
But if they do that, the Griffin Riders lose their powers. So they hold off.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have a school assignment.
To go
where
find
the runes. Yeah. And that's when they're in the cave.
Oh, and that's when Solus?
Yeah, shows up in the cave.
Yeah.
That's also when Sloane reminds Violet that if a rider is bonded to a dragon who was previously bonded to a family member, they have the chance to either go insane or have a second signet. And Violet was like, interesting, I'm going to pocket that in the back of my brain and ask Xaden about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, no, I totally knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, then Solus shows up.
Solus was, what's his name's dragon, right?
Yeah, Varish.
Varish, yeah.
Right. Whenever I first read it, I was thinking Solus was,
Jax.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one's name? Day? D?
I can't remember.
No, Day was
It comes in here at some point.
It's been so long.
dragons.
And I don't care about Jack enough to care about what his dragon's name is.
Period.
Because I know they talked about it, I just can't remember.
Yeah.
Because he showed up in the first part, right? Wasn't it Jack's dragon that showed up when they were doing the one mission out in the field? And Jack's dragon showed up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then everyone was like, oh, the dragon without his rider.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tragedy.
I knew
I
you were going to say some funky shit to make fun of me again.
A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without its dragon is dead. Welcome to the fourth way.
You a bitch.
And I've always said that.
Did you mess up saying it?
Yeah.
You know, I messed up writing it. Remember when you had to tell me how to write it the correct way? Because I said strategy.
Tragedy?
She wrote it wrong.
That's so
I said, that's so cute, Bestie. Spell it right.
I said, oh, thank you.
She
Got it.
circles it in red.
And Darna slays,
Oh, literally.
and then literally doesn't Darren say Slayer at the end or something?
I think so.
You know, let me. God, why am I even pretending to use my Kindle when it takes so
Oh yeah,
long.
because that's the cave scene where Solus attacks them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like kind of stuck down there
Uh-huh.
because the dragons can't fit, right? Or the other or like Terran can't fit in there.
I think so, yeah. But Andarna's like,
Mhm.
I can.
Yeah.
So she said, I can do it.
And she does it, and she's literally so
Mm-hmm.
smart.
What is, who's Naolan?
Naolan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds so familiar.
Who's Naolan?
Um,
Naolan's death. Naolan didn't fail, but it cost him everything.
Was that not the one that was with Brennan? Oh wait.
That's what it was. Yeah, because after Andarna kills him, Taryn says she is as Naolan was.
Oh.
She said, "You're not turning." I take her hands from my shoulders. Oh, she's talking to... And then she says, Andarna walks into the light, but it's not the blood covering her mouth that catches my attention. It's the blood dripping from the poisoned barb on her tail.
Mm.
But I think they're referring to Sloane, right? Because Sloane says, "Are my eyes red? Did I turn into a Venom?"
Oh my gosh.
She said, "You're not turning." But that's when she found out she was a siphon, which is what Naolan was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, right.
That's what it was. I was getting confused because they just kept saying she, and like they're having two different conversations. Like Taryn was like talking to Andarna, but then they're also talking to Sloane because Sloane's freaking out.
Yeah.
So I was kind of confused. But that's what it is. When she said, "You killed him, you killed Solus. Pride and worry assault me at the same time, but I can't force my shields up before Taryn's voice fills my very existence. Slayer." Which, like, is pretty badass, except also she'll get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor little Andarna. And, I mean, they decide what? They decide that, like, because he was attacking her, like, mated, her, like, bonded rider or whatever, that, like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I think it would have been more of an issue had Varys been alive, because if they killed Solus, they would have killed Varys. But since he was already dead, it's not a big deal.
no harm, no foul.
And he didn't
No harm, no
bond
foul.
anybody after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Taryn said he hated Solus anyway.
Yeah. It was
Taryn
pretty
wanted that
evident.
guy dead for so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
This is when Kat plays nice, because she's like, "Oh, she saved my life." I'm like, "Okay, bye. Go away now.
Literally learn how to be a decent human. I don't know.
Leave." And Zayden's like, "Literally, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know, just being cool."
Mm-hmm.
Overprotective much? But, mainly I just love him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Violet.
and then this is when they get in that big fight, right?
Yeah. Talk about Violet and Xaden.
Yeah.
Because she confronts him about the signet. The second signet.
But they're fighting before that. They're, like, going off, and he's like, "You finally ready to ask me about the deal I made with your mother?" And, because that's when he's like, "You don't want to ask questions. You're too scared to ask questions, and it's not because you think that I don't want to share. It's because you don't know how you feel now, and, like, you're stressed about having to share things, and now you're the messed up one. Haha, it's not me anymore, it's you." They're...
Yeah.
Because he said, "Demand the truth. I need you to love all of me, not just what you decide to see." Okay, I understand, like, demand the truth. What if we found a middle ground?
Right.
Yeah. What if you guys were better at communicating?
Yeah. If there's something, Xaden, that you feel like in the back of your, like, that you should probably tell her,
Just go ahead.
maybe just go ahead and tell
You
her.
don't have to wait till she asks.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
What about the notes you made her?
Dude, so
Mention them in the
tuned.
notes.
Right.
So tuned. Write more notes.
Right.
Write more
She would have
notes.
loved that. Should have been like, oh.
Yeah. But then she got really, really pissed at him whenever she found out he was in Intrinsic, because she was worried that he had been, like, reading her thoughts this whole time. But then, like, he clarifies, well, I can only read intentions, and it had nothing to do with, like, our relationship. Like, I never...
But he didn't even
purposely-
tell her right then. Because somebody started knocking on the door or something.
Oh.
And so he refused to answer. She said,
Right.
"What's your second signet?" And his eyes just kind of widen. And he doesn't say anything. And then That was when Brennan said a horde of wyvern had been spotted flying from Davis toward the cliffs.
Yeah. Doesn't she ask him outside?
Yeah, and so then she asked
That's
him
right.
again.
When they're at their post or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then there's nobody around them.
Yeah. And then
he can speak freely.
Yeah. Which, like, again, I understand why Xaden didn't tell her, because he literally would have been killed.
Yeah.
And she wasn't able to, like, block people out as well. So I do get that.
Like, he actually would have been killed for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah.
Right.
And I also, like, get her side of it of, like, does this mean you've been, like, able to read my intentions this whole
Sure,
time?
it's
And blah,
stressful.
blah, blah.
Especially after what they went through with Dane.
Right.
But also, he said, like, I've never purposely, like...
Because he said,
done it,
after I
or
started
did
falling
you
in love with
influence-
you, I, like... Because he said something about, like, in the beginning, he had a couple times, like, the first time they kissed when they were outside. And whenever they're, like, under the tree. But then he was like, once I realized I was falling in love with you, like, I tried to, like, not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't really blame him, though, because your life's kind of on the line there.
You can't blame him for that.
You can't blame him for that. And it's
I
not
like
like he
that she
wanted
wasn't, because she wasn't super upset about it, right? Whenever they actually talked about it.
Right. She was, like, upset, and they, like, definitely bickered about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But,
like, she got over it.
right, because he was like, see, it took you half a second to fall out of love with me. And then she was like, oh my god, shut up.
Yeah.
And then she said, that was when she said the line, like, my love is not fickle, or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. I remember whenever I read that part where he's like 30 seconds or whatever it was. That's how long to get. I remember like pausing and like almost crying because I was like, and then quickly she was like, you're dumb. What do you mean? And then she said that little bit. I was like, I think I highlighted that part.
Yeah, I
love
think
is
you
not
did
fickle.
Another one of the little excerpts, because I find them very good and fun, is from the Journal of Warwick. And it says, it was never our continent. From the very beginning, it was theirs, and we were simply allowed to live here. Talking about, like, the dragons, obviously,
Yeah.
I assume. I want a book that is just entirely from, like, Taryn and Scales' perspectives. I want to know about the Empyrean. I want to know about these meetings. I want to know about the dragons that inhabited this land long before the humans did. Like, like there is so much that we do not know. So much.
Yeah.
Rebecca,
would be
I
really
want to know
cool.
all the things.
Rebecca.
you better get on it.
Because, like, she's literally calling this, like, the Empyrean series.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, you're naming the series after the collection of dragons that we don't even know.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect.
I just mainly would like to know.
Do like a prequel book.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would read it.
Remember when we were talking about And the One earlier? How Violet this whole time was like, 6 and the 1, 6 dragons, got it. And we're over here like, hey bestie, what about that one?
She just kept being
What
like,
about that
what
one?
could be wrong now?
And
I
then
totally have it.
She finally says on page 746, and the one,
one.
and then I just put a bunch of exclamation points like, hey,
So true. That's so true. Oh, I didn't
great
think of that.
job.
No, the entire time she was like, I got the 6 bloods. I don't know what else it could be. I'm like, and the 1. And then she goes 6 dragons. I'm like, great. And the 1.
Yeah.
You translated it, babe. You
Yeah.
translated it. I'm reading it the same as you read it.
Last time I checked, 6 plus 1 equals 7.
And so if you're only going with 6, then I think that maybe you're missing the 1.
Right.
And she was just like, I don't understand how I'm getting it wrong.
Okay, we're talking about a very gullible young girl here. Okay.
She's
smart.
stupid. She's so
smart.
smart. And I understand that, like, okay, Rebecca Yarros' perspective writing this book, it has to be something that she can fail at a couple times and then figure it out. Okay. A message to Miss Yarros and Miss Mass. When we're making little, like, riddles that our characters have to figure out, maybe make them the teeny tiniest bit more difficult, so maybe it makes sense that they don't get it. Because I mean, we're reading on the paper 6 and 1, and she's like, got 6.
It's sad because she literally has the first book and then the first half of this book where she is smart and she does figure things out, and she's
like, man, I cannot figure out this 6+1 riddle.
Feyre kills a whole Midgard worm, and she's like, I don't know what this riddle means. I give up. I give up. I'm just gonna keep doing the hard stuff.
I saw this video and it said, be honest, did you actually get the riddle? I'm like, did you not? Because really? Really?
Yeah.
The way the first time I read it, I was like, Awanis is it wolf.
She looked
was
right
like-
at me. She hadn't even finished it yet.
Uh-huh.
And Awanis was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, cool, just checking. But I mean, like, it just, like, this couldn't be more basic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously you have to figure out, like, what is the 6? What are you doing with the
Right.
6?
Uh-huh.
What is this, like, sure.
Right.
That could be your try and fail.
Right.
But the fact
get
that we're
the
just going to
basic first,
ignore
Yeah.
about the 1,
The
Yeah.
specific instructions, the stuff you don't have to figure out,
Yeah.
the one that literally tell you.
that part was, like, basic sum. 6 plus
You learned how to read. Good
one.
job. Good job. You know math.
You know the
how to
math.
read.
So impressive.
Anyways.
Taryn and Scale fighting. Once
Yeah.
Xaden tells Violet that he's in Tinsic, and Taryn's like, I literally cannot believe you didn't tell me this.
Mm-hmm.
And Taryn is so pissed.
Yeah.
Taryn and Sigale fighting was not something I was prepared for.
No.
And then when Violet said Mom and Dad are fighting and everyone knows it,
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't prepared for that actually.
Did they not get, like, the feeling from them? Okay.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Like, because whenever they spend time together,
Mm-hmm.
Violet can feel them.
Yeah.
And so can Xaden. Xaden's just like, I kind of, like, wash it away, like,
Yeah.
Right.
ignore it kind of thing.
Block them out.
But, like, what about when they get angry like that? When they get in a
I'm
big
sure
fight?
they can, but I think because they constantly have that shield up,
Right.
But they don't.
Yeah, but I
Unless they
feel, but
purposely
doesn't
keep it
Violet still,
down.
like, struggle with...
Yeah, whenever Taryn's having like really big feelings.
Yeah.
But she said that she was blocking it out whenever her and Xaden were fighting, because she was like, I'm already irritated enough. Like, I don't need Taryn's like frustration bleeding into my frustration.
How convenient. I love that. I love convenience in books.
Convenience, yeah.
Because then this is when Melgren's like, hello, you hello, you shitbags. I need your help. And it's like, huh.
Hey,
You
I know
keep
I
calling
was,
us shitbags. Why would we help you?
Yeah, hey, I know I was kind of a dick, but can you maybe come help us?
And also, I like totally let you go.
Yes.
I know
I
totally
let you
leave.
But we kind of need
Do you
you
think maybe you can help me? And they're like, what?
back.
No?
Brennan said, nice knowing ya.
Bro, when Brennan said, hi, mommy, Lilith about knocked out. Lilith, like,
Yeah.
almost saw God.
Brennan said, hi, mommy, I hate you.
I
Dude,
still
wish
don't
you
to
were
this day
dead.
understand Lilith's, like, what was she standing for?
Don't know.
My only thing is, because my little, like, theory or whatever, I don't know if you were here when I was talking to Hannah about it, my little, like, one of the theories I think is possible is that Dad is still alive. Dad turned Venom to save Lilith with the pregnancy. That's why Violet's hair is silver. And so Dad's away. And, like, this whole time, Lilith has known about, like, the wyvern and the venom and all that. And that's why she has the dagger and all that. And so the only reason I can think that she's so, like, weird about, like, being, like, too overprotective and, like, keeping them all in is because she knew that her dad was venom and she wanted, like, she didn't want them to have anything to do with venom, like, specific, like,
Yeah.
their dad and venom. And, like, she knew, like her flaw was, like, not helping the other people because she wanted to protect her kids, and that's why she had Violet in, like, the writer's
Oh
quadrant.
my gosh. I was just thinking, so I know how you were talking about how the dad could be Venom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about the fact that he has all of these books that are not allowed in the archives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, like, all about Venom and wyverns and all of these, like, fairy tales is, like, what he would tell. Or what are the folk tales or whatever?
Folklores.
Folklore. And, like, how does he have all of these resources? And I know he's a scribe, but they said that they don't even have copies of those anywhere.
Because Justinia couldn't find them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it would make more sense that he would be Venom because he has his hands on all of
Yeah.
these things.
Now that I'm thinking about it, how would he hide? Because Violet was still, like, Dad was still around.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after Brennan died that they were like, oh, he died of heartbreak.
Right.
So, like, why? So maybe he turned Venom, but because, like, we saw that there's a little foreshadowing in Fourth Wing about Jack being Venom, because they talk about Violet and Jack go on the mat together, and it mentions about, like, the rim of Jack's eyes are red, and so I was like, oh, that's a little, like, foreshadowing of, like, maybe that's when he started to turn Venom. So like, maybe, like, it's possible maybe, like, Dad was Venom that whole time, but they didn't
But there's
know.
just a way to control it.
Right, there's a way to control it, or maybe because he had all of, like, the tombs and all the books about
Yeah.
the ancient history, he, like, kind of figured out.
Yeah.
Because in
Maybe
chapter
he's off looking for a
66
cure. I don't know.
is where the excerpt is, missive from Lieutenant Colonel Nolan to General Lilith Sorengale. We have tried every method we know of. As you requested, there is no cure. There is only control. And so, obviously, we know, or we're assuming this is about Venom.
Right.
Obviously, assuming it's about Dad. But we're assuming there's a way to control this, especially with Satan, like, unless the next book is literally just like, well, we sent him packing, so
Yeah.
we're not going to hang out with him anymore.
Yeah.
We're just going to probably kill him. Obviously, you can control it.
Yeah, 'cause,
So, I
like,
mean,
how
maybe he was
believable-
Venom for a long time. Maybe Dad had been Venom for...
How believable
Right.
would it have been that he died of heartbreak, though? Like,
Yeah, and it was so brief.
Mm-hmm.
it's like Brennan was gone and boom, heartbreak, as if he didn't have any other kids to live for.
And like you said, that little part about there's only control, like maybe their way of controlling it was like telling Dad, like, you have to leave. Like, you can't be here if you're going to be Venom. So you have
But
to
I mean,
maybe
he
he's-
obviously lasted long enough for, like, Violet to grow up.
Right.
Because...
Or what if he's, like, training to control it away from them?
Or like I mentioned earlier, he's trying to find a cure.
Right.
But if they said there's absolutely no cure, then
As far as Nolan knows.
Well, as far as like maybe Lilith was trying to find other ways, like besides just letting him go off. Kind of like just like her mother, Violet. She can't just sit there and let things happen. She has to like
figure something out.
Like whenever Bodhi and Zayden were like, don't try to help.
You two have plastic on your arm.
I do.
I just realized.
The tattoo yesterday.
Yeah.
She's healing.
I just noticed that you still had it on.
Oh yeah.
I was like, your skin very wrinkly.
She do be wrinkling.
Yeah, no, it's the plastic.
So yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of like, and I could be wrong. There's so many theories out there.
right.
But that's the only thing that I can think of, and like, it explains why Lilith is the way that she is.
Yeah.
She's just. I feel like her stance changes every 30 seconds. She's like one way 1 minute, one way another minute. I don't know if she's just trying to like play it, or if she doesn't even know where she stands and she's having like an inner battle constantly.
Like she
Because
knows
like
it's
she
wrong,
says,
but
you don't have to understand my choices. You simply have to survive. I love you enough to bear the weight of your disappointment. And Mira says, thinks she's full of shit. I don't know. I really don't know about Lilith.
yeah.
She's kind of an enigma to me.
What is after this?
Yeah, we gotta hurry.
So true, besties. So much is after this. I could just go quickly.
Well, yeah, let's just go through the main. Violet's mom gets her the journal back. Violet finally gets her act together and confesses her love to Zayden.
They
decide to help Basquiat.
Right, they end up going and helping them, and it says Violet realizes that the Wyvern won't attack Navarre until the wards at Basgiath fall. Basgiath is where the dragon hatching ground is and must be protected. In order to protect the wards and the dragons, they have to go fight to protect Basgiath. Brennan and some of the assembly disagree, so just some of them go to Basgiath, and the Flyers stay behind. And Melgren pulled all of his military personnel to the border that will be attacked, which is kind of stupid because he already knows that they're going to lose. But this means that Basgiath is undefended. There's only a few students and teachers left there. Lilith is still there. And they convince her that it's going to be attacked and must be protected. She says that the wards are good, but then when they check, the guards have been killed, and our King Bestie Babe, Jack Barflow, is there, and he is now obviously turned villain and destroyed the wards by killing his dragon. And I feel like that's
crazy, man.
pretty rude.
Pretty rude. How dare you?
Literally barbaric.
Yeah.
Like, actually. And then they cut off his powers, capture him, but the wards are already down, so it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Lilith and the riders and anybody that's there, they prepare for battle. But then when it's actually time to fight, Brennan shows up with the Flyers to help. They kill a bunch of wyvern and some venin.
Virginia figures out how to raise the wards.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently 6 types of dragons, but 7. Or not 6 types of dragon, but 7.
Justinia knows math.
Justinia.
Violet does not.
Justinia for the win.
And that's when we find out that Andarna was this special dragon who was waiting 650 years to be hatched to be Violet's dragon. And she's pretty much hollow, so that's neat. Oh, that's when you were like, I forgot Andarna's literally a chameleon.
Yeah.
But then that's when they're like, if we fix these wards, if we use the 6 and Andarna to fix these wards, we won't be able to do it at Erasure, which was the plan.
Right.
And so they have to make that judgment call.
And Violet says, you do it, Xaden.
She said, actually, not me.
And Xaden says, all right, well, we're here, so
Guess we do it here.
guess we do it here.
Because here's where we are.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
Makes me
that's his home.
big ol' sad. The Ryerson Palace
The Ryerson Palace?
is not going to be protected. Yeah. That makes me very sad, actually. But so they choose to save Basgiath instead of protecting Erasure.
You know, the place that's falling apart.
And the thing is, if they could just, like, boot Melgren out, and they could just kind of, like... But then, like, we're back at square one.
Right.
We're back at Navarre being the only place that's protected. We haven't extended our wards at all. We've literally not served our purpose.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Mommy dies.
Yeah.
Listen, I
'Cause
didn't care much for Lilith throughout any of this. Mostly because she was the worst to Violet, and then turns around, but I did it all for you. And it was just very frustrating to be like, flipping it like that. Like, you could have shown some hints that you cared about your daughter in any sort of way, but you didn't. And you didn't show anything until right before you died. And, like, I know that she, like, gave some, like, sacrifices earlier on, but they weren't, like, meaningful in a way. Like, they were, like, this is for the bigger cause, like, but it wasn't, like, for her daughter.
No, I just don't have, like, a ton of feelings about Lilith in general. I think Lilith is kind of like your typical, like, I don't know, kind of like your Dane. Who, like, isn't quite sure what the right call to make is, because you can go by the book, or you can go by what you think is best, or you can just worry about what's in front of you and protect your kids, or you can try to protect the world and, like, what battles do you pick and which battles do you fight, and how do you balance being a general and being a mom, and now you're a single mom, and you know, one of your kids is dead, and you know, I think she never, I don't know, she just didn't have a big impact on me when she was alive, so she also is not going to have a big impact on me when she's dead.
Yeah.
I was a little different. I actually did get kind of sad when she died. I didn't care for her at all. And then, like, as, like, we started to learn more about her, I was like, oh, she's not, like, everything that we thought she was. Like, she's still cold, and she, like you said, she didn't need to be that cold, but she also could have told Violet at least a little bit, you know, why she put her there.
Right.
The things that she knew.
Give her no, like...
Yeah.
She just said, you have to be a writer.
Yeah.
Because
like
I said so.
She could have been a little more of a mother rather than a general.
Yeah, she did not get that balance.
Yeah, I think you guys know me. I'm emotional. So in that, like, in the moment of that scene of, like, her, like, Lilith finally, like, kind of showing them, like, how she feels and how much she loves them, I was like, oh, this is kind of sad, and I wish she didn't have to die. I wish she could see them, like, carry out what she's hoped this whole time.
Right.
But I also kind of got over it pretty quickly. I was like, oh, this is so sad. And then we kept reading, and I was like, okay, I'm glad she died and not Violet.
Yeah, literally.
Not Violet.
Literally.
So,
I read it and I was like, oh, that sucks. Anyway.
damn, that's tough. Anyway.
Well, my biggest, like, frustration was not even her death or her, like, trying to, like, redeem herself at the end. Yeah, her sacrifice. And it was the way that the kids reacted.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you've been talking major garbage.
The
about
only
your
person
mother.
I give slack to is Violet. Because Violet's the one that threw out it. She'd be like, guys, come on. Guys, come on.
Yeah.
Like, but the other two.
But Mira and Brennan acting like, oh my god, the world's ending now that my mom's dead. And it's like, you guys talked so much trash about her.
Talked nothing but trash.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean, like,
trash.
as if she were dead.
Yeah.
Like, acted like she was the worst person to ever live on the planet.
And I
the
feel like
moment she has a sacrifice, they're like,
oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, again, it's your mom, but, like, the absolute devastation.
But they acted like she was dead the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, they meant that she meant nothing to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can't pull that on me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
That was a little odd.
Yeah.
Dang, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. I thought of something, but I can't remember.
So, Mommy dies.
Mommy dies. Zayden is battling the super powerful Venom guy.
Oh.
And he's about to
what do they call him?
Yeah.
The Sage.
The Sage, that's it.
That's the guy Violet battled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And then,
That's when Violet goes to find Zayden, and Scale says, be gentle with him, and Violet's like, what do you mean?
what do you mean?
And then
What do you mean?
the way that Zayden refuses to look at her,
Oh, because he's
I was
so
like-
sad.
I was like, what did you do? What have you done? Please.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Because wasn't the Sage saying, like, don't you're gonna have to understand that, like, everybody's gonna get to this point eventually.
He was like convincing him to do it. Like the
Yeah.
Sage wanted him to
Right.
do it.
But part of him convincing him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember what I was going to say before we move on to Zayden Venom was the one thing that does concern me about Lilith's death is we don't really have someone in like management now who like we even can kind of trust, because even like throughout this book we're not really sure where we stand with Lilith. She would like in the real times of desperation she would come to Violet and she'd be straight up with her, you know, like after they killed Varish and then whenever they were meeting with Melgren, you know, like I was like, at least maybe we can work with Sorengale. But now we're left with Melgren and Ados and the one guy who I thought was cool, but maybe he's not.
Nolan? Or
No, the one of the professors.
Oh, Carr?
Yeah, Carr. Like people who I
Yeah.
thought might have been on our side, but then didn't end
I
up
have a
going
feeling
with
that
them.
they're all gonna die. I feel like they're gonna kill them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because Imitario came with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Devera.
Yeah.
And then like a couple others.
Yeah, the
but,
ones
like,
that don't side with them, I have a feeling they're gonna
Yeah.
kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was like my only other concern was like, okay, now the people in charge of Navarre, we don't have like,
I don't think that they ever would have sided with them anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one of those that, like, if you're not on our side, then you're dead. Because
Even though they came to literally save your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can go back to Xaden, but
Yeah.
that was my other point. But yeah, little Xaden.
Oh my gosh, his perspectives always kill me.
Oh,
Whenever I see the Xaden POVs, I have to take a moment to breathe
Oh,
before
but that's what I was saying is the sage, I think what he was saying was part of him convincing Xaden to turn was because he was trying to tell him you can push it off as long as you want, but everyone is eventually going to have to come to this point. I think is like
Yeah.
like
his like
he's wanting everybody to
Convincing,
turn.
yeah.
And then, yeah.
yeah, he was like, I'm going to give you one last chance to make the right choice so we can get this over with.
Which is the dumbest thing, because, like, I don't know.
I told you once that you'd turn for love, and so you shall.
Like, so, when you're Venom, you literally suck the power from the earth.
yeah.
There's only so much earth, dog. You're going to suck the life dry out of it, and you're not going to have anything left. And then what? Especially if you're like, everybody's going to turn Venom.
Like, oh, okay, then what's the
You're
goal?
going to go try to jump into other worlds?
Right,
Are
we're going
we-
to start.
Are we starting a universe here?
No, literally.
Are you, hello? I was
But
about to
we
say something.
also don't know how big their Earth is.
We're multiversing.
Are we
Because
multiversing?
we're learning new lands.
Because
as
they
we
only
go.
know the continents.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if that's the case, I don't like that. But also, like, there's only so much Earth. You're gonna suck it dry.
But also there could be, like in his case, they want to use power.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there is a good side to Venom if they controlled it.
Right, because, like, we're saying, like, oh, it's bad to pull power from the earth. But, like, who said?
Right.
And how come?
Right.
And what could we do with it to pull power
Right.
from the earth?
Right. Not literally, because I remember, like, doesn't it say whenever like the Venoms suck like the life from it literally is just like black, like it like literally sucks the color and like the life out of everything.
Right.
So like if there's a way to, like you said, like control it to where it doesn't suck the life out of it like that, but it
Right.
just
Maybe
simply
maybe
takes
there's like a
some power.
symbiotic relationship to be
Yeah.
had here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if, like, instead of it, I wonder if there's, like, a way that they can, like, I wonder if there's a way they can siphon the power and, like, bring it to something else.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Like power it
kind
through
of like
something else.
Violet's conduit, like if they had
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah,
conduit
yeah.
to like
Yeah.
mhm.
to like
Bring it to
source
that
it here.
instead of,
Mhm.
and that's the way to control it.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Dad did to help
Yeah,
Lilith, if that's
maybe.
what happened.
Because we keep saying maybe Dad turned Venom to help save Lilith whenever she was pregnant with Violet, but like, what happened in this pregnancy with Violet, and what's up with Violet, and like,
Yeah.
we're leaving this all so
What
open,
if-
like
why
we
is-
don't know.
What if he was Venom before they had Violet?
And so then Violet, because that's another
When she
thing a
was
lot of people have been
conceived.
saying,
Is
is that Violet's
Violet's-
half Venom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people were talking about like Xaden has his second signet, and that's obviously because of his bond with Scale, who was bonded with his great grandfather.
Right.
But then Violet has the second signet of being a whiny little bitch, and we don't know why she has a second one.
Right.
Like maybe that's because
Yeah.
she's
No, she does actually, but like she does have her.
her.
Why do we know that why do we think that she has a second one? Because it's only when dragons are from people that you are
yeah,
relatives.
so they have to be when they're relatives, but I was literally just thinking.
Oh wait, because Andarna.
And Darna
That
was
was right.
specifically made for her.
Yeah.
So,
And why?
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 Why specifically
she
Violet
was
Sorrengail?
Violet. What's so special about little baby Sorrengail?
Apparently a lot. This girl's been through it.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
She has, like, seriously, like, she's been through a lot.
Listen, if I had to pick an actual character to be in this book, as much as I want Xaden to be my mate, I probably would not pick Violet. Like, Bessie, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. Like, I think I'm going Rhiannon. She seems cool and badass.
Right.
She seems fun.
She has some fun times.
She's a good time.
Riddick.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I just don't think that I'm going... I don't think that I'm going Violet. It seems like a lot.
Little Miss Bendy Bones.
Little Miss
Oh my god.
Bones! I hate you.
Also, does nobody else have that?
I think she actually has some kind of like medical condition.
No, but I know that. But I'm saying, does anybody else have it?
Right, like we're not
Oh,
talking
oh.
about it. Like, we're not talking about, like, why are you like this? Because in my
I wonder
brain...
if it's from the pregnancy. Like, she got it from the...
Right, because in my brain, I'm relating it to, like, some form of, like, osteogenesis, like, something is, like, wrong with her bones. But, like, why? And we're not worried about it. We're just like, her bones kind of don't really work.
Right.
Almost
Why?
that was just a little, like, characteristic that Yara's just put in there to be like, let's make her even more weak. She's short, she's little.
She's tiny,
Let's also
she's
give
weak,
her
and
weak,
bones.
brittle bones.
Brittle.
Also,
Brittle.
she's bullied because she has
She's-
silver hair.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, my hair's a different color.
poor baby.
Literally adults, haha, your hair's silver. Okay.
Jacob talks
Sorry,
about all the
you're
time
jealous.
how he watches shows or TV, and it's like, how are adults making fun of other people? Like, they're bullying them. For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Dude,
Literally for what? They
Are
do
you
it in
that
books
bored?
too. For
Yeah.
what?
Uh-huh.
like, what?
What are you gaining?
Literally.
I don't get it.
Literally, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
You have no rhyme or reason to be bullying this person.
Mm-mm.
We're adults.
Yeah.
Literally.
Guys,
We did
that was
it.
Iron Flame.
You did it, Hannah.
Oh, the only little bit is
Oh,
that
you wanna talk about
Zayden,
Jack?
yeah, Zayden just asks Jack how to go back to being a normal human, and Jack says there's no cure.
Can't go back, Jack.
But
Okay.
I don't trust anything Jack
I
says.
do have to appreciate Violet at the end of this book
Oh, yeah.
because she doesn't make a scene out of it.
No.
And
Yes.
she doesn't make it a problem.
And sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say what gave me a lot of hope is because I was so worried because Violet is so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's
I
so
was like-
violent.
I was like, she's about to like turn on this man. She's
Uh-huh.
about to be like, I can't trust you anymore because you're Venom. You literally did just save me, but I can't trust you. But thankfully, thank God, the book ends with them like in
Together.
like sleeping
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the
in
same
bed.
bed together. Because
Yeah.
remember,
Haley,
Zayden,
it's because her love is not fickle.
her love is not fickle.
Fickle. It just, like,
love is
took
not
her,
fickle.
like, I don't know, like, 800 pages
Yes, to
to
realize
figure
that.
out that her
Yes.
love wasn't fickle.
So that gave me a little bit of hope that because they didn't really talk
Yeah.
after Zayden was like, yeah,
Like, what
I'm
do you
Venom.
say?
Right. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm
So sorry, babe.
I was so glad that they ended up still being together. I was like, it's
Yeah.
clear that she still loves you
I
and
was
she's gonna
so,
do everything
I was
she can
more
to make it.
worried that she would react badly than
Yes.
he was Venom.
Than him actually being Venom. Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, at this point, there's nothing that can be done.
Like, here we are.
We're here. We just have to work with what we've got.
Yeah.
My worry was
Was
how Violet was
Violet.
going to
Yeah.
react and how she would handle it.
I wonder if she realized like it was either this or him dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Either dead or Venom, so.
Yeah.
gotta take what you can get. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Now at least he can control it. Like at least
Yeah.
try not
Yeah.
to.
And
let it eat him alive.
if anybody's gonna turn Venom, I'm glad it was Zayden because he
Mm-hmm.
already knows how to handle like such great amount of
Yeah,
power.
This man's going
Like,
through it too.
The fact that he's like, you know, like a shadow wielder, and the fact that he has 2 signets, and one of his
Right.
signets is that he's an intensic, and he had nobody to help him.
and now he's a Venom.
Yeah, so like he's already used to like
Dude.
knowing how to like
Going
control
through it.
My guy's tired.
his
Yeah,
power,
it's
and so yeah, like that on top of that's like he's gonna be scary.
Yeah.
Like
I like them scary.
I like
He's,
them
he's a force
scary.
to be reckoned with.
I like morally grey men who are a little bit scary.
I saw a pod. Oh, it was the Oh my God, what's the name? Rhett and Link.
Oh yeah,
Rhett and Link. What's their pod name?
Ear biscuits.
What?
Ear biscuits?
yeah, air biscuits.
That's the name of their podcast.
No.
Do you just mean their show? Good Mythical Morning?
Good,
Oh, good
Mythical Morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's their show. It's not even
Yeah,
their
that's
pod.
just a
Yeah, no, their
little YouTube-
podcast is
Oh.
Ear Biscuits.
I'm literally dumb then. They brought somebody on. Had no clue who it was. It was just I was scrolling and I saw them. And
Link.
Yeah.
you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was actually from Ear Biscuits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a clip from their
Okay, I'm
podcast.
confused. Anyway, we were talking about Shadow Daddies.
Yes.
And then he's like, "What is a Shadow Daddy?" And she's like, "Morally gray man." He's like, "What is a morally gray man? What is that?"
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
anyway,
Isn't that the clip where she's like, I honestly don't think that Zayden is like very morally gray. He's
Yeah.
like pretty good morally. Like he's
Yeah.
he's trying
Yeah.
his best
I
to
mean,
be pretty morally upright.
he do be
Yeah.
killing people.
Sure, but
He's not Rhysand.
Right.
Turning people into mist.
Yeah. Or Azrael, like, literally torturing people and under the mountain. Oops. Under the night court.
Oops.
Yeah.
Under the mountain.
Under the mountain.
This man.
I'm triggered. Is that a worm?
God. The Alaskan bullworm?
The Alaskan bullworm. Gosh, I know we're talking about Fourth Wing, but I need to reread ACOTAR. I have to. I'm getting hives.
Getting hives?
Not actually. I'm getting,
You're getting an allergic reaction.
what's the word?
She's losing it.
What's the word? Gosh, what's the word?
Withdrawals?
No, I'm getting metaphorical hives
Oh, okay, yeah.
because I
Yeah.
need to reread it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Um,
You miss it.
I miss it a lot.
Yeah.
I miss it a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
Guys,
it's been a grill.
that was Iron Flame.
Iron Flame. Part
And-
2.
Part 2.
And Onyx Storm is coming, baby.
January 2025, right?
Well, you know, that's already pre-ordered.
It is
Heck
pre-ordered.
Yeah, it's not pre-ordered. I'll buy it on the Kindle.
Yeah,
I pre-ordered
also
it
gonna-
on Kindle. Thank you.
I
very
pre-ordered
much.
the physical, and I will also be buying it on Kindle.
I just want it ready to go when
You
it's
guys
out.
know I'm not going to read it when it first drops.
Oh yeah,
Oh, Hannah.
you're gonna get at least a year after.
We're gonna have to
Unless
make
we
it our book
decide
club
to,
book.
like, do, like, hey, it's dropping this day, we're doing a pod on it the next week.
That's actually a good idea.
Then, you know,
Oh, that is a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Hannah.
We'll do that.
catch us in January 2025. Oh my god.
Do we want to talk about?
Nope, because we don't know yet.
Okay,
We haven't actually picked the next book.
We're not
but
sure we're going to be doing next week.
There will be a book, and there
We'll
will
do
be a
one.
video.
we're
We'll
gonna
read
take.
So-
something, and then we'll sit on this couch and talk about
Yeah, we're gonna take a little break from fantasy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
We're going to post the book that we do.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll let
We
you know.
will.
We'll put it
We
on
will.
our,
So
put it
that
on
way
our
you
Instagram
know.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let you know what we'll be doing next week. We just haven't quite chosen yet.
Mhm.
We were trying to pick tonight, but then we had audio issues. So,
We're
Yeah, that was-
professionals. I'm not sure if you realize.
yeah, did you guys know? We are really good at
professionals.
this.
We are so good.
I bet the audio sounds absolutely perfect in this video, and you haven't thought once, maybe they should do better audio.
Yeah.
I bet you haven't even thought that
I
one
get
time.
told that at least 3 times a week by Wendy.
Wendy? Wendy, we're trying our best.
We are 3 girls on a couch. We are doing what we can.
We're
Yeah.
literally 3 girls on a couch.
Three girls on a couch. Why wasn't that our podcast name? Three girls on a couch.
We're
Shut up right
rebranding.
now.
We're rebranding. We love you so much. Thanks for watching 3 Girls on a Couch.